And I talked to a lot of veterans, especially this weekend at the National Cannabis Festival in DC. And the main thing that our vets want is VA doctors to be able to openly allow people to recommend it. And many of the federal workers that I ran into don't want to be fired from their jobs if they're not in a safety sensitive position. There are tons of folks who are not in the intelligence community, and they're not in the operating nuclear missile silos, that they're not driving heavy equipment, that may need this to help go to sleep at night, may need this for chronic pain, as we saw, and they're still at risk of losing their jobs at the federal level. And then there's tons of veterans who are feeling like they got to keep it in the shadows because they may not be in a state where that can happen, and they're scared of the repercussions at the VA.
Well, in the Veterans Appropriations Bill, we're trying to get provisions in there to allow VA doctors to talk to veterans. Right now, they cannot even mention using marijuana in a medical way, which is a bad thing because it pushes people to self-medicate, and they may not know how cannabis interacts with other drugs that they are taking. Also, they have to then pay for it because it doesn't come through the VA. So now you're paying for some kind of medicine that you need. So I think the veterans absolutely should have access to it. We ought to have the doctors engaged, and we ought to be looking at how it helps with the, PTSD as well as pain management, because in the past, and I think the VA does a good job, but in this area, they often have not known what to do. So they just give you some drug here, go take this and go away. And it ends up with veterans getting hooked on what's a legal drug when they could be using marijuana that's not nearly so addictive or so potentially deadly.